Good morning student, myself UK Singh, science teacher at ISL Moneri Dhanbad. Okay, so we will start the first chapter of class 9, which is cell. So let us first discuss the definition. The definition of the cell goes like this: cell is the structural and functional unit of life. That means anything which has got life in it consists of cell, whether unicellular, multicellular, plant or animal, doesn't matter. Anything which has got life in it will consist of cell. Okay, so let us first discuss about the discovery of cell. So first of all, the cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. In the year 1665. He observed the cell through the microscope, but this cell was a dead plant cell. Dead plant cell. That is, it was a cork. Cork is a plant product obtained from the bark of the plant. What was he able to observe was compartments, but small compartments like this one, a sort of honeycomb-like structure, and he named them as cells. Okay, this repeating structures of compartments. Later on, after few decades, A.V. Anton von Leeuwenhoek discovered the first living animal cell. He discovered the first living animal cell. Okay, and this was a cell of a euglena, which is considered as an animal cell. He observed in what you can say pond water. He observed this cell of euglena in pond water. Okay, so up to this point, cell existence was being established that all living organisms consist of cell. Later on, cell theories were devised in order to explain the detailed structure of cell. Okay, and this theory was first of all presented by Amskleden and T. Schwann. And okay, let us write the first heading: cell theory. It is proposed by Amskleden and Malthus Skleden and Theodor Schwann and T. Schwann. Now, the synopsis of the whole theory was that all living organisms consist of cells or their products. That means any organic molecule that is produced is also been produced by the cell only. Okay, for example, if glucose is produced observed by the mesophyll cells. Okay, so all living organisms consist of cells, either cells or their products. Okay, so cell was universal for a living organism, which has been established by Amskleden and T. Schwann. Okay, however, there were some drawbacks. There were some drawbacks or limitations in this theory, which was further been modified by Rudolf Virchow. This was further been modified by Rudolf Virchow. Another scientist called Rudolf Virchow, who modified the cell theory and renamed it as the neo. It was considered as the neo cell theory. He added one more postulate that all cells arises from the pre-existing cells. Okay, all cells arises from the pre-existing cell. That is, the newer cell arises from the older cell. So another postulate was added by Rudolf Virchow that all cells arises from the pre-existing cell. Okay, now the cell theory was been completed. Okay, so later on with the discovery of high magnification microscope and electron microscope, further detailed structure of different cells was being observed. Okay, now the shape and sizes of the cell. Shape and sizes of the cell. All cells are not alike. The shapes and sizes differ according to the function they perform. Okay, so let us discuss about the shape and size of the cell. Shape and size of the cell. Shape and size. Shape and size. So shapes and size of the cell differ according to the nature of function they perform. For example, a person, suppose consider two persons A and B. One profession, one person is a computer operator, another person is a weightlifter. So their bodies will be exactly different. Their bodies will be entirely different from each other. Okay. One function is to sit. The former has a sedentary lifestyle and the latter has a, what you can say, when you can say he needs to lift weights in regular intervals, so his body will be quite different. In the former, body muscles will not be developed. In the latter, body muscles will be developed. Now, according to the nature of the function performed by a person, their body shape may vary. So that is true for cells only. Cells perform a different set of functions. Okay, and you have already studied about the level of organization in class 8. A group of cells having similar function and same origin consists of a tissue. It forms a tissue. A group of tissue forms an organ. So therefore, different organs and different tissues have to perform different functions. Therefore, their shapes and size differ. So the shape and size of the cell can be different. For example, RBC, red blood corpuscles or red blood cells, which are mainly supposed to carry oxygen from one part of the body to another part of the body, are consist of a biconcave shape. Okay, consist of biconcave shape because if the structure is round or spherical, it will have more surface area. Therefore, more oxygen can be diffused into the RBC. For example, another example will be nerve cells. Nerve cells are elongated because they have to transmit impulses to the distant part of the body. From this point we will conclude our discussion. We will discuss cell further in the next class. Thank you all of you. So pause.